In a world where board games remain unpainted and boring, one painter will attempt to remove that pile of gray shame. And that painter is Rob the Board Game Miniature Painter, painting miniatures the easy way.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Rob the Miniature Painter, and today we're going to be painting the Urban Legends box set for Zombicide 2.0, and we're using the good old slap chop method here of black, gray, and white. And I made sure I got a lot of that white all over to make sure that I don't have too much streaking when it comes to the speed paints. And here's all the colors you're going to need. Yep, there's 20 bottles of paints you're going to require for this. You're welcome to pause it at any moment here, take a list down, go sit down with your paintbrushes, get all ready, get the paints out like I always do. When I'm painting miniatures, I actually look at everything I'm going to need, take it all out. Sometimes I'm missing some, but usually, or sometimes I remove some as I go along as well. We're starting off with a purple tone on the Abductor alien here. This guy is going to be the simplest one. He's going to just show up at the end with a last paint job on him. Super easy to do. Aged Hide is our next speed paint, and this is because someone in one of my comments said I use Aged Hide for tongues, inside of mouths, a little bit of skin around the mouth. So I decided to, you know what, I'm going to test it out. I'm going to put on this, the sewer alligator and the Chupacabra's ears and his mouth, his tongue, and even the tongue of the killer clown. That's right. Now, if you guys haven't played Zombicide 2.0, this is an updated version of the original Zombicides, but has some great mechanics to it that they changed to make sure it works properly. You have a little bit easier time winning the game, and it is quite simple, and it is fun to play, and I love all Zombicide games. Now, this guy had some pretty interesting skin tones on him, the Killer Clown. This is, by the way, I'm doing the Killer Clown pretty much all in one shot. The Chupacabra will be after, and then the Alligator and the Alien will be last, so you can skip around. I'll try and put some of the timestamp below just where I put the most part of the painting being done. And you'll be able to skip around if you want. But the first part, so I used Mummified Grime, which I kind of like as well for zombie skin. It's kind of cool. It's a little bit darker. But I found it worked well with this guy here. And here we're having fun with the balloons. We're using a bunch of pastel colors here, including Princess Pink and Indigo and Yellow. Now the pink started leaking down the other balloons, so I ended up cleaning that off with a wet brush after and just soaking it back up. And it did a good job. It didn't actually mix into the colors because the pastel colors seem to dry really, really fast in a way or not. And here I actually mixed up the last green paint and that pink paint. The pink was supposed to be for the thing around his neck, and that green was supposed to be for his hair. But you know what? This kind of works out. It looks kind of neat. He's got like pink hair and his green, like, whatever, tutu around his neck. I don't even know. What would you call that? A collar? I don't think. Anyways. And he's got, in the artwork, he's got half yellow and half red pants. So I found the bright red was a orangey color a bit, working perfectly. And then the Ancient Honey does a really good job. Again, the slap chop in here, because I did heavy dry brushing of gray and then a heavy dry brushing of white, it's not crazy where it's black and white, and there's not a ton of super crazy tones going into the painting here. So the speed paint does a good job. It does highlights, it gets into recesses, darkening it down. Runic Gray, of course, is a color that isn't super bright, but once it dries, you can tell there's a hint of blue to it. And his shirt did have a blue of like jean color to it, and I figured this was probably the best one because I want to keep him grimy and grimy and dirty and ugly looking. You know, he is a zombie. Now we're moving on to the Sewer Crocodile. And we're doing camo cloak on the entirety of the skin of the crocodile. I'm actually blending it into that Aged Hide a bit, and it darkens it down just a tad and gives it a little bit more of a fleshy look for the alligator, but still doing a good job. Now, this camo cloak does an amazing job getting into the recesses and giving the highlights from the slap chop and all that. And works really well. I know most of you guys answered my questionnaire over on my post of that you from Army Painter use mostly speed paints. War Paints Fanatics was just a little bit, but air paints was 0%. So none of you have ever tried the Army Painter air paints. That is surprising to me. I guess most of you don't have airbrushes, but I can tell you right now, it is, in my opinion, really awesome. Another reason I'm doing these kind of characters here is it is October. It's a spooky season. We want some freaky looking things for the month of October. So we're, now and then, instead of doing always Marvel Zombies, I'm going to look for like things that are spooky, things that are more scary and stuff like that, and try and paint those up. Sort of like Death May Die has some more spooky stuff. I've actually got something coming up that you guys might appreciate. It is not board game related, I know, but it will be still fun to watch paint, I think. And I think you guys are going to get a kick out of it, so stay tuned for that video. I'm not even going to give a hint. Well, I kind of did. If you follow me on Facebook and if you follow me in Discord, I gave sort of a hint of what that's going to be. So if you're not following me in those two places or in my Discord channel, take a look at the links in the description and come and join me and my other miniature painting friends. Here we come back to that alien with some ashen stone, because the point was that he had like a grayish purple skin. I think I got it right on with that as well. I think that worked out. Then I'm using my Goddess Glow color that I usually use on hilts of swords and stuff, and coming in with on this, I don't know what this is, I think it's a mailbox of some sort or something. Anyways, just painted that up, and then some brazen copper for all the pipes and sewer things that are stuck to this gator. I didn't go into too much detail on like the little things like this, because there's just not much of a point. It looks good on the table. It looks already table ready. You don't need to make it parade ready. These are getting these miniatures done quickly, and that's what speed paints are for. Is for you to get a miniature, take it on into your hands, and have it painted in a little time as possible. As you can see, I painted these 4 miniatures, and I sped this up 4 times. So whatever time it takes to make this video, do that times 4, and that's about the time it took me to paint all 4 of these because of the speed paints. Now, I'm not including the slap chopping part of black, white, and gray, or black, gray, and white, but that is super fast too. You let the black dry, you let the gray dry, and then you put the white on, and it's that simple. I came in then with some occultist cloak just to do all the spikes, and then finally some pallid bone for the teeth of all the creatures here, except for the alien. He had absolutely no teeth showing. And here we go. Let's take a look at the before and after. So there's the slap chop version and a painted version of each character. We're gonna go through them again. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, is free. You can also become a member and get some exclusive Warhammer videos coming eventually. Right now there's some A Song of Ice and Fire on there. Anyways, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed these urban legends. If you haven't picked them up, go pick them up. They're fun to add to your Zombicide game as abominations. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.